For this project, I decided to choose cancer as my pet peeve. A pet peeve is usually described as something that annoys someone or irritates someone. I decided to choose cancer because it's a problem that not only affects me personally but affects every one of you sitting in this room, not only at a family level but at a friend level. If you went to Carleton last year or the years previous to that, you may have heard the story of Rodrigo, who was a fourth-year international business student who underwent cancer, and I'll be introducing Sizwe Nkingi, who will be giving a short introduction and story on the life of Rodrigo and his life at Carleton and some of the problems he faced during his life at Carleton.
My name is Sizwe Nkingi, also known as Adex. I came to Canada 4 years ago as an international student. On my second year, I met Rodrigo. He was also another international student. We had mutual friends. We were part of extracurricular activities, so he was part of OLAS. I would go to their events. Okay, so what he was diagnosed with was Ewing sarcoma, so that's what Terry Fox had. So this is a cancer that affects, it's a really rare cancer to have, so it affects, from my understanding, it affects young people and they don't have a chance of survival. Rodrigo was majoring in finance. He was an A-star student, very active, and he was very involved. He must have been some people's TAs in the class, maybe teachers knew him. He kept complaining about having a pain in his back, and we all thought it was because maybe he carried his suitcases up the stairs because he was always traveling. So he held it off, so he just started taking pills, but he kept having a pain on his leg. And he thought he was covered by the school because we have UHEP, that's the University Private Health Insurance Plan. His insurance wasn't, they never took the time to give him an MRI. And also, I guess when you're an international student, it's more paperwork. I don't know the logistics, but I do know I went to the hospital with him numerous times. We went to chiropractors, we went to all the different places, but they kept telling him to come back in 2 weeks. They kept saying that he's in 4th year, that he's just stressed about life, and he's just thinking too much. Even his host parents thought the same thing, and they'd always make us do the paperwork. We didn't understand what's happening, and our coverage only gets a certain percentage, and like the clinic knows that there's something really wrong with you, but they don't know what to refer you to. He was with his family, so they thought, okay, he'd be covered by Brazilian health insurance because they have a universal health insurance. And at the same time, I remember he tried to get an insurance, to try and get the travel insurance that international students or people get when they're traveling on exchange, because they always covered him. But that didn't work out because he wasn't a student anymore. Rodrigo wasn't eligible for the universal Brazilian healthcare because he was out of the country for a certain period of time. When he started getting worse, sometimes hospitals would be closed because if Brazil was playing soccer that day, just during the World Cup season, the hospitals would be closed. They would tell him to come the next day when he was bleeding, and he would complain about that. He'd go from doctor to doctor to doctor because certain spaces didn't have the certain medicines. His host family was sending money to Brazil, over $20,000 each month, or to keep him alive, because his parents couldn't afford to pay the medical fees. On August 5th, 2014, that's when he passed away. The school recognized him, they gave him his diploma this summer. His parents got to come here. Like, we saw how much the student body came together to help. I think I feel like certain things need to change now from the situation, especially if we're, I think universal healthcare should be a basic human right, just like water and other things. And I feel like Rodrigo should not have gone through all those loops to just not be treated. I don't know why and how accessible should healthcare be. Before he died, he said, I lived happily and intensely for 23 years of my